gaming setups don't get bigger than this. We're here with the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Esports team at their new facility. A couple of weeks ago, AMD reached out with the most incredible opportunity to bring me here. And as you know, I'm not only an absolutely huge fan of PC gaming setups, but I absolutely love Formula One and I love racing. To actually be able to come here and see this is incredible. And I think they're going to let me have a go. We're going to give you the full setup tour on everything that's on offer here. But of course, we do have a PC that actually makes all of this possible. This is an all AMD rig, so we're running a 5950X Ryzen CPU, an RX 6900 XT Radeon graphics card, and it's actually all custom water cooled. This is all hardline, it's the same for every rig, and it's quite clever because they've got this frosted glass finish on the front, so that it doesn't give glare to the drivers when they're trying to race. To walk you through the sim in a little bit more detail though, we do actually have someone here that's pretty special. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, I'm Noblechairs. I'm an esports driver for the Mercedes-AMG Petronas esports team.
So tell me, what is it actually like to be an esports driver? Is it as simple as just playing games, or is there a lot more to it?
Yeah, there's a lot more to it. I mean, it's from the outside it looks like we're playing games and stuff like that, but we drivers don't even like to consider it a game because it's getting so realistic and so close to the real thing that there's a lot of stuff that comes into it. I mean, we have an amazing facility here. We have 2 dedicated engineers who work with us basically 5 days a week, full time, to basically help us perform to the maximum. There's of course lots of data that we can go through to compare ourselves to others. There's a lot of data that we can use to improve the car, so it's not like we just jump in and the car is ready. We have to actually develop the setup and stuff like that. So there's a lot of small things that in the end can make a massive difference.
Can you walk us through the sim a little bit?
So the standard thing is only the PC itself, I would say. The rest is quite dedicated to sim racing only. So triple monitors that helps us with racing, so we can basically see all around us. Wouldn't be beneficial for lap time, let's say. You don't get quicker from it, but it's really good to see what's happening all around you in that way. Then we got the motor from SimuCube. It's the best of the best in the business. Helps us a lot with force feedback, so there's a lot of forces that come through the steering wheel and that helps us feel the car. At the end of the day, that's a very big part of our performance, so we can really feel all the little details of what the car does and if we're going over the limit or we're driving under the limit, so that helps us to get faster.
Is it not just about sort of replicating it so that it feels nice, that it's accurate?
A little bit of both. Of course, you want to be comfortable with it. You can set it up to the maximum, of course, but if you're doing a longer race, then it's of course very, very exhausting, so you don't want to run that as well.
And the wheel itself, I mean, to me that looks completely crazy and completely different.
So it's actually modeled after the Mercedes wheels. You can see it's pretty similar. There's a lot of buttons on it. You'd be surprised that we actually use pretty much all of them.
So what do they all do? I mean, it looks quite intimidating.
You've got the basics of pit limiter, DRS, so overtake button is like a boost button, it gives you more power.
Is there a party mode? How many hours a day would you say that you use this?
We drive 4, 5, 6 hours a day, I would say, and the rest of the day you sort of look at data and you try and learn things and try and pick up what others are doing and see what we can improve.
And can you tell me about the pedals?
So of course the pedals are a big part of the performance as well. So the pedals are from Hostingfeld, which are the best of the best in the business again. Throttle pedal, of course, very important, but also very simple. You can't really make a lot of modifications to that, but it's mostly about the brake pedal. So we can really change the brake pedal quite a lot, and we can adjust the force of the brake pedal by quite a lot. So we can go up to 130 kilos even to hit 100%, which is of course quite a lot, but also quite realistic, as that's what you need to hit in a real car as well.
So is this quite similar to a Formula One car?
Yeah, so the pedals are basically how it feels in a real car, in a real Formula One car.
How similar is this to the Formula One simulation rigs that they use for testing out the cars?
So that's probably another step. So of course what we have here is probably the best of the best equipment that we can get for the sim racing world. But of course what the teams use is another big step. It's, in terms of equipment, I wouldn't say it's too far off, but it's mostly the software that they use and the actual tracks and in-game how the car feels. That's a massive step in how realistic it is.
Have you been on like a Zoom call or anything that Valtteri or Lewis has also been in?
Yeah, so last year in the pandemic we did some F1 virtual races, so we're actually coaching like the real drivers a bit.
Oh, wow.
So Valtteri was driving in that, George Russell is really involved in it as well. They love their sim racing. So for the rig itself we use SimLab. So it's of course again all about consistency, stability. You want to be on a very stable base and not have any movement when you of course hit the brake pedal very hard, so flex is quite important for us. And for us with our other partners, with SteelSeries, we use their keyboard, their mouse, and more importantly for us, their headset. We're sort of reacting from what we see and from what we hear as well.
What was your setup like, say, like 5, 6 years ago? I mean, am I right in thinking you were just in a bedroom, quite literally just racing?
Yep, so exactly that, yeah. So I was in my bedroom at my desk, until 2018, so like 3 years ago. At the end of the day, hard work can get you to a certain level for sure.
I think I'm brilliant at this. Do you mind if I have a go? Is that allowed?
Go for it. I'll give you some tips as well.
I am definitely a little bit nervous, but as I say, I do think I'm not terrible. Anything I need to know?
Just go. So try and go like third gear for these kind of corners.
Oh, I've got to change gear. Okay,
Yep,
that would help.
Yeah, so be very careful on throttle. So basically don't go flat out until you're like in fourth or fifth gear. So build it up slowly. I guess with what you use at home, it's quite a light pedal.
Yeah, this is, I definitely feel a lot more like I'm in a car right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's DRS, okay, it's open, yeah. Oh dear, am I going to get fastest lap? How often do you have a big crash?
It very rarely happens in esports because we're all so
good.
tuned in. Oh, not like good. We know so much about the conditions and the track that we drive in and stuff like that. So it's very difficult in that sense to make a mistake because you always know what to expect from the next corner. While in real life, there's a lot more variables.
I'm definitely getting a little bit better. I wouldn't say I'm going to be replacing your job anytime soon, but we're going to throw another spanner in the works because AMD actually reckon that they can drive better than me. AMD actually reckon that they can replace the whole desktop computer by a laptop, and this is something I had to see. The notebook in question is an AMD Advantage laptop, which combines AMD Radeon RX 6000 series mobile graphics, AMD Radeon software, and AMD Ryzen 5000 series CPUs. They also feature exclusive AMD technologies with things such as Smart Shift, Smart Access Memory, but also AMD FreeSync Premium certified displays and other advanced system characteristics. We're going to get the laptop. It's over here. It's being handed to me by the PR guy that doesn't want to be in shot. Go on, be in shot. And it always surprises me actually just how thin these things are. This has, what is it, an 8-core CPU in it? 8-core CPU in something this thin, top-end Radeon graphics card, and they reckon that this can actually power the sim. And I don't want to say I don't believe them, but I will believe them when I see it, because that is going to be no mean feat. Fast forward a few minutes, and ladies and gentlemen, it is here. We have our laptop, full specifications are linked down below by the way, plumbed in to the racing sim. And it certainly looks as if it's going to work, but as we know, looks can be deceiving, frame rate can be, well, low. Shall we see if it's any good? This is now the awkward transition where I've got to get into a chair. It doesn't really look very good on camera. That is pretty insane. I honestly didn't think it would run as well as it does. We've got a Formula 1 racing sim running at 130 frames a second with everything working. We've got loads of, oh, yep. And it's all running from something as small as a laptop. Hardware has come on so much over the last few years, but I honestly didn't expect you'd get this level of performance from a laptop. That is absolutely insane. And the crazy thing as well to me is that this isn't even like one of those desktop replacement type laptops that are so big that they're not really laptops anymore. This is something that you can just slip into a bag and use as a laptop. But then again, at the same time, you can just plumb it into your racing sim that you have in your office. Madness. Awkward transition again out of the chair. But this has been pretty much the ultimate sim that you can get. I know I've said that before. We've said the ultimate desk setup, the ultimate racing setup. This is the ultimate racing setup. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.